Riverdale's one thing is that it's not a musical. It's not a musical. That was really... We're both sick. We're phoning this in. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Riverdale, Season 6, Episode 7.
Chapter 102, Death at a Funeral.
I read it as 2 deaths at a funeral, and I was like, that's a take. It wasn't called Tick Tick Death, or no. Tick Tick Boom?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what was the one that was just with the Oscars?
Tick Tick Boom?
Oh. He's deaf?
No. The Sound of Metal was was last year.
I think those are the same movie, and I don't know why.
No.
I think those are the same movie, because it's Riz Ahmed and...
Yeah. Andrew Garfield.
Okay. Interchangeable.
This was Sound of Metal.
Okay.
Jughead's story was the Sound of Metal.
Sound of a death at a funeral. Okay. I understand. I realize what I'm about to say. I think we're done with Hiram for a little while.
Yeah.
That was a send. Polly didn't get that send off.
That's fucking true.
It's just so funny to me because I understand the reverence for Mark Consuelos.
Sure.
But the way they were talking about Hiram in this episode, I was like, footage not found.
Yeah, no.
What are you? Okay. I miss Hermione so much. I think her Real Housewives thing is good. I was expecting her to be a little bit more. Like, I think I was expecting Marisol to be, like, playing it up more.
Yeah.
And I guess
she was playing it up a little.
Well, but she was also given, like, heavy material that I wasn't anticipating.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh. But I really liked that scene. She looks so good.
She looks great.
She looks so good. I think it was wild that the show, like, acknowledged the weird,
psychosexual nonsense between Veronica and Hiram.
It almost like earns it to have like Hermione be like, that was part of my issue as I was trying to see like
it is no grosser that like even Hermione noticed.
I understand the instinct to put all this reverence on Abuelita, but she's not part of the show.
This is her second episode.
Yeah, like It was strange. I mean, the theatrics of it all were fun. So what's the deal with, like, Abuelita's manservant?
I mean,
that was, like, a character. I mean, are we going to see him again?
I don't know.
He's a rival for Reggie's affection, or...
Veronica's affections with Reggie, yeah. I don't know, he just, like, knew that she took out a hit on Hiram, but wasn't telling anybody, and he just, like, needs to know everything about the family, so...
Well, and he saved her from the hit Hermosa took out, which I also don't think we're done with that. They treated it like it was over, and I was like, I don't think it is.
Yeah, and then Veronica had the nerve to be like, who sent you? Who hired you? And it's like, who the fuck do you think? It's so obvious.
It was very intentionally a character with, like, 3 scenes, and then I think we'll be seeing him again.
Presumably he left with Abuela.
I don't understand. I guess I just don't get Reggie. Like, I don't understand what.
I mean, that's fair.
He's been on this show from the beginning, and it's still I'm like, there's nothing there. I don't understand why this was such a hurdle for him.
Yeah.
With Veronica.
Because that was a real mean thing to say at the beginning. He's like, should I offer my condolences or say congratulations? I was just like, Reggie.
I think it's very odd that the show was treating this like it was some noble, great loss. Yeah. I think that Hiram was a villain and needed to be ousted, needed to be sort of disposed of like a villain. And they were really trying to treat it like it was this like complicated, morally gray, like it was very strange. And
then also, sorry, all of the stuff on that cassette tape about how like I only ever loved you, and again with the footage not found, where I'm just like,
well, they found footage, but it because there was that montage playing. But
you mean the 3 instances when he smiled in her direction?
It just like it came close to giving me what I wanted, but I don't know. It was very strange. I was hoping that this was gonna sort of put the Lodge plot back on the tracks. And I don't know that we're there.
Yeah, we also seem to still somehow be telling people that Archie's house got blown up. Like, everyone still doesn't know yet somehow. Like,
the news hasn't spread.
Then, like, there was, I think, at least one instance in this episode that where someone was like, oh, yeah, well, you know Archie's house burned down. And they were like, whoa, what?
Well, speaking of what?
Yeah.
I had my brain off pretty much this whole episode. So the whole Archie Betty plot caught me aghast at every turn. I did not see that coming with the Palladium.
Yeah.
I did not see that coming with them giving us TBK.
Yeah.
Like,
who is still out there.
Well, I clocked the guy. I was like, this is a weird day player.
Yeah.
Because it was that thing where I was like, he was like more attractive than he needed to be,
yeah,
but not attractive like the young, hot Riverdale guy. And so I was like, what is this happening?
Yeah, what are we doing?
And so literally when he gives Archie the bigger Palladium later, that's when I was like, oh, yeah. Because I had literally even forgotten. He threatens Betty. Well, he apparently, because Rachel was taken out by this too, I guess Betty was sleeping in the office. And he like breaks into the office with Glenn's key card. And then handcuffs her, and then wakes her up to taunt her.
Yeah.
And then I was
with
like, and then like
hand.
Yeah, and then like unhandcuffs her and leaves. I don't
think he unhandcuffed her.
She just got out of that.
She has to have a handcuff key somewhere.
They're universal that way?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So in that regard, he just gave her busy work. I don't know. It was really weird.
Well, I compared it to like a Silence of the Lambs type of relationship.
Well, because we were watching it with Rachel, and she was sort of like, I don't remember this. Like, I don't, like, obviously she remembers TBK, but she was like, what is his obsession with Betty? And I was like, it was weirdly in between seasons.
Yeah, she got like captured in between seasons. So we actually haven't really delved into that. But I think he just is like sort of obsessed with her.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it unfortunately feels like a slight or like a 50% retread of
the Black Hood.
There you go, the Black Hood. And so I think that's partially where the deja vu feeling is coming from.
A little.
But
I think she's sort of the one that got away for him.
Yeah.
Because she got away.
And the show still it keeps shocking me with how shocking it is, because he like just slowly dismembered Glenn, my boy. To
the point where at the end of the episode, Betty is like, I found most of him.
It was like the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. There's part of him over there and part of him over there, and she didn't find his head. So, and I was just like, it was fun, but it was kind of like,
Okay, I'm glad she found his head, because the last thing we need is what's his name, Grayson
Holt,
like Golem with no arms and legs rolling around.
That's what I was afraid of. I was like, are we gonna be like, or no, I was like, I guess I was afraid that he's gonna get Betty or something.
Oh,
and we're gonna end up having to like CGI like an hand
arm
missing.
Off of Betty. Yeah. We'll see.
She'd still be doing all the heavy lifting.
Lily could do it.
So TBK threatened her with going after Archie and did. And so Archie has a weakness to Palladium.
Yeah.
Although we don't know what's happening with Betty's aura thing.
Yeah. Except for unless just the Palladium being in the house is enough. But it was in the house already because they found it in the wreckage.
But I think it was like, it wasn't on his person.
Yeah.
Like, I think it needs to be like. And then Bingo is I had a theory that we were going to go this entire season without actually seeing Bingo, because even in the beginning of the episode they're like, well, Alice Cooper has him, and I was like, but no, he showed up. It was fun, it was funny. He charged him and knocked him out the window. Also,
I had totally forgotten about the dog fighting, but Bingo remembers all his commands from the dog fighting.
Bingo kill.
Disgusting. It's handy in this instance, but horrible.
So how do you feel about Nana Rose just killing Cheryl Blossom, like just completely? And yes, I know she's not actually dead, but as far as Nana knows,
she's dead. I don't know. It's so weird.
We've kind of loved Nana Rose.
I can't condone this behavior. I don't know. What they're doing with the Blossoms is not it for me.
Well, I like the witch stuff. I was there.
Witch stuff, sure, but can Cheryl catch a break? I want Cheryl. Not Madeline Petch. I want Cheryl to catch a break.
She's in a mirror. Yeah. She's trapped in a mirror verse. But I just I was a little bit shocked that Nana Rose was so ready to just casually kill Cheryl Blossom. I was
agree.
Oh my God.
But especially because Cheryl has kind of always been an ambassador for Nana Rose, always there to care for her and do this and that and the other. And she took her into. I mean,
I suppose you could claim that this was always the plan.
Yeah.
That this was always sort of Nana Rose's endgame, but.
Yes, but.
Luckily for Abigail, Cheryl just be like that.
Yeah.
So she's not really pinging many people's suspicions.
Well, Fangs was that was weird, huh?
I mean, I guess he was.
And Tony was yeah, I don't know.
Kudos to Madeline, because I think she was playing Abigail differently than she was playing Cheryl.
Yeah.
The mannerisms were different and stuff.
Yeah. She tried to get back together with Tony, and it turns out that she's with the, it's they're descendants of, the
pirate
Thomasina
warlock.
and the pirate warlock who killed her. And so it's Cheryl is I can't believe it.
I love how direct the lineage of all of Riverdale is.
They are doppelgangers of one another.
But it's also what are the animals that can reproduce without
I don't know, without
a partner?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's that. They're just sort of spawning off.
Like an amoeba or something.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very funny. So it did end with Abigail aware that Cheryl is trapped in the mirror, and Britta did see it. So Britta is aware. I never would have guessed, because I said this last week, that when Britta showed up last season, I was like, what the fuck is this? But I think I'm all
in.
Thank God for Britta.
I'm all in on Britta.
Kevin's staying in town and gonna be working with his dad.
Casey Cock got one scene this episode.
Yeah, and he's watching the baby because Fangs and Tony are busy.
They're worried about the ghoulie war with the ghoulies.
Yeah. Right. And Jughead is now proper deaf, and it was Tick Tick Boom, and
it was Sound of Metal.
It was Sound of Metal.
Tick Tick Boom is a musical.
Sure. If Riverdale is one thing, is that it's not a musical. It's not a musical. That was really. We're both sick. We're phoning this in. I thought it was fine. You guys were Rachel was getting really hung up on it, but I was like, they've done this since the beginning.
What?
Homages like that, where they just sort of play out the.
I'm not hung up on it.
Rachel was.
It is it was word for word. He was
they've done that
sit
a bunch.
here in this room for 5 hours and write something, and and then instead of doing that, he literally stole ideas from the man that was trying to help him.
I mean, it's Jughead.
It is Jughead.
So I've said this so many times, but I think Jughead is so funny. I found the whole plot where I was leave it to Jughead to go deaf and then suddenly not be able to write.
Yeah.
Those two things are not connected.
No. But he used to listen to music.
I would be regardless. There's something about his plots, and he's so singular. He's so apart from everybody else.
Yeah, except for Tabitha.
And so that was based. So he's doing graphic novels now, apparently, and he can hear thoughts.
Yeah, which he discovers at the end.
So, yeah. Was there? Oh well, we did have that guy Percival Pickens.
Oh yeah, he was back.
He and Abigail recognizes him.
Yeah.
So he was some great menace from the past.
Well, she recognizes the family name because it was Pickens Day. Wasn't that the founder day or something? Yeah.
Because one of them was it? I think it was Alice actually. It was it was
are you
Colonel
related?
Pickens
Yeah.
or something like that. So yeah, that was about it for this episode. Can you think of anything else that needs to?
Not really. We had the funeral for Hiram. It was, as nice as it needs to be. Veronica.
No, it was way nicer than it needed to be.
That's true.
And she gave a really backhanded, because
it was a really backhanded eulogy.
But then they tried to turn sentimental. It was really weird. They tried to have their cake and eat it too.
They did.
And we ended up with 2 half cakes.
Of opposing flavors. Like chocolate and lemon.
So yeah, well, we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Like, thumbs up, subscribe.